Okay, so this is what I'm thinking about GSP and his next opponent. Um, his next potential opponent for for the UFC. GSP. He look. You can say that his performance against Michael Bisping was kind of like not. It wasn't his best performance. You know. You know. I had him winning round one. I kind of had him losing round two. Then he gets the knockdown to submission in round three. So I like this for this was a good win for GSP. He was a little off in my opinion. For me, Michael Bisping was also off. Um, he's big. He has a lot of muscle. A lot of people are saying that he should fight Conor McGregor next. Some people are saying that he should fight Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is fighting Kelvin Gastelum. I think Kelvin Gastelum is gonna knock Anderson Silva out pretty easily. Within 2 rounds, he should knock out Anderson Silva. Kelvin Gastelum is gonna knock out Anderson Silva, in my opinion. So, and GSP and GSP Kevin Gastelum, nobody wants to see that. They're all saying Robert Whittaker or Conor McGregor. The thing is that Conor has Tony Nate Diaz. You know Nate Diaz is a big fight. GSP is a big fight, and I feel like GSP and Nate Diaz right now are like pretty equally. And Tony Ferguson, um, Tony Ferguson. A lot of people are saying that he should fight Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor next because it's the most fair thing to do. So okay, so I think that he's gonna fight Tony Ferguson next, and then after that, is he gonna fight Nate Diaz or GSP? The problem with that fight is that GSP has Robert Whittaker in his contract. I do understand that they can stop that contract, but they want GSP to go down to 170. Okay, but Nate Diaz fought Conor Conor McGregor fought Nate Diaz twice at once. No, he fought Conor McGregor twice at 170, right? Okay, so he gets hurt, wobbled, and then he gets submitted by Nate Diaz in the second round. He was super tired, right? At 170, he had a very controversial win against Nate Diaz, and and their second fight, he did good. Nate Diaz did good also. Um, GSP, I feel like it. I feel like it's super hard for GSP at this point to get down to 170. He's just too big, and if he gets down to 170, that's gonna take a year plus. If he's doing it the smart way, because when you move down in weight classes, it's so bad for your body. It drains you. It makes you weak. So you're not gonna be as strong, and you need to change your diet completely. This is gonna be very hard for GSP to do. And then Conor McGregor. Everybody's saying that. Isn't everybody saying that Conor McGregor he's too small for 170? Yet they're trying to push his fight, and they were all saying that Nate Diaz is too big for Conor McGregor, when Nate Diaz is a natural 155er. He's a natural 155er. He's a career lightweight in the UFC. GSP is a career welterweight that just fought at middleweight, and he looked huge. He looked huge at middleweight. So how is a like a pretty reasonable middleweight going to fight a pretty small welterweight? And Conor McGregor was saying, everybody was saying that Conor McGregor looked too small. And Nate Diaz, no offense to Nate Diaz, but Nate Diaz, he's not even a top. He's not even, in my opinion, he's not even a legit top five middleweight, lightweight. And then when he went, he's past his prime at this point. Nate Diaz, when he was like in his prime, in the earlier days, that's when he was in what and before he fought Conor McGregor at 170. In the first fight, before that, I think he only had he fought Rory Markin, Donham Kim. He lost to Donham Kim. I think he stopped Rory Markham, but Rory Markham sucked, and he lost to Rory McDonald. So he had a total of 3 fights at welterweight, right? And he got a TKO stoppage to a guy that nobody knows at all. But he got demolished every single round. So Nate Diaz is a small welterweight. Look at him against Rory McDonald. Look at him against Donham Kim. He never got the round. They all beat the crap out of him. On his back when he was more towards his prime. So this is like a prime Nate Diaz getting his ass beat, and then he goes back to lightweight. He lost to RDA. He has so many losses. At lightweight, he beats Michael Johnson. Nate Diaz looked huge. It looked like a small welterweight fighting a big featherweight, and then they fought. He basically outboxed Michael Johnson. He fights Conor McGregor, and then everybody's saying Nate Diaz is this huge guy. He's huge. Um, you know, um, Nate Diaz is a welterweight. He's not welterweight. Nate Diaz is a lightweight. So er, everybody kept saying to themselves that what Nate Diaz is a natural welterweight when he's a natural lightweight. He had 3 fights at welterweight and he looked so small against the actual welterweights, right? And GSP over here is a huge welterweight. Nate Diaz is a small welterweight. So if Conor fights GSP, he's gonna look so small compared to GSP. Nate Diaz is small, especially now. Nate Diaz is small because like GSP going to middleweight, so Nate Diaz is smaller, way smaller than GSP. Conor McGregor is way smaller than GSP. But what I was saying is that yeah, Nate Diaz fights GSP, and they were all saying that Nate Diaz is like he was walking at 190. What do you think? What do you think GSP is walking at right now? He's not walking at 170, 180. Well, he's walking right now. He's like 190, 200 pounds. He has to be. So that's first of all. And the other thing is that everybody say, well, like Nate Diaz couldn't take Conor McGregor down. Nate Diaz sucks at wrestling. He's the one that always gets taken down. Look at him versus RDA, Rory McDonald, Donham Kim. Everybody was taking him. Benson Henderson. Well, everybody takes him down. He's not the wrestler. He's a boxer. He's boxing and jiu-jitsu. That's all he does. He's very one-dimensional. Nate Diaz sucks. So everybody takes Nate Diaz down. That's just how it is. If he beats you at boxing, he takes you down. And that's part of the time why they take him down too, because he has good boxing skills. So that's why I'm impressed by Conor McGregor when he fought Nate Diaz twice. Was Conor McGregor's boxing skills. I was not impressed with his takedown defense. I was more impressed with that against Eddie Alvarez, but Eddie Alvarez had like an off night. You can tell that he was like surprised by the power of Conor McGregor in that fight, but so he wasn't fully there, and he kept making mistakes. So it was like a surreal moment for Eddie Alvarez. So he wasn't fully there. So and then Nate Diaz, the guy that he's not even a wrestler at all, like at all. He's a guy that everybody takes down easily. Nick is bigger than Nate Diaz. Look at Nick versus GSP, how easily Nick Diaz got taken down. The Diaz brothers suck at takedown defense. They suck at wrestling. The fact that Nate Diaz took Conor McGregor down surprises the shit out of me, because that happened. GSP is gonna take Conor McGregor down all day. I don't think GSP wants to fight Robert Whittaker, it's not a smart thing to do at all. So GSP has to either fight. He has to fight Robert Whittaker and probably lose and retired, or he can go down to 170, fight there until Tyrone Woodley, maybe Wonder Boy. I don't think no Tyrone Woodley or Darren Till if he's able to get a title by late 2017 2018. I mean, so I think we're gonna end up seeing you know in my opinion we're gonna end up seeing Darren Till versus GSP late of 2018 or in the mid, because I think Darren Till's gonna beat Wonder Boy, and Dana White's gonna give Darren Till to Wonder Boy to Tyrone Woodley. Darren Till's gonna beat Tyrone Woodley. Now he's gonna have the belt, and GSP is gonna go after him. And but he's going down. And if it's Tyrone Woodley, then it's Tyrone Woodley, right? But he's going down, going out. He's going after Conor McGregor, right? Here's when it gets tricky. Do you think Conor McGregor wants to take this fight when he knows that pretty much GSP just has to take him down? That's it. I mean, he took Michael Bisping down. He even though it wasn't the best idea, he still took him down and pretty much kept him down a lot for a long time in the second round. So everybody's saying that they should make Conor McGregor versus GSP. GSP will say yes, but in my opinion, I don't think that the same way GSP doesn't want to say yes, in my opinion, to Robert Whittaker, I don't see Conor McGregor jumping to the idea of Conor McGregor versus GSP, just because he's a main wrestler. Even if Conor McGregor beats him in the boxing stand up, GSP GSP's punches are gonna hurt more than Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is not a knockout artist. And look at GSP. GSP just he basically knocked out a. I know he submitted Michael Bisping, but he basically knocked out a middleweight. GSP. Look at Michael Bisping. He was able to survive against Dan Henderson. A knockout puncher that knocks out heavyweights back in the day. So I think that Conor McGregor is smart, and he knows that maybe he can beat him standing up, but Nate Diaz punches do not have the same speed and power and explosiveness of a GSP. They just don't, and he's much more bigger than Nate Diaz. So I feel like he knows that GSP hits way harder than Nate Diaz. Maybe they have like an equal chin. Maybe Nate Diaz has better cardio, but at the end of the day, GSP hits way harder than Nate Diaz. GSP has better wrestling than Nate Diaz. GSP is way bigger, and the whole point that and everybody was saying that that Conor McGregor shouldn't fight Nate Diaz because Nate Diaz is too big, even though he's a career lightweight, and they all kept saying that he's a welterweight. When he's not a real welterweight, GSP is a real welterweight. Look how big he looked at middleweight. So he's definitely a true welterweight with true welterweight power, and strength, and he's if Conor McGregor is smart, and I think he's gonna avoid the GSP fight if he's smart, because you can knock him down, you can beat him standing up, but what do you think? What do you think GSP is gonna do when he's hurt? He's gonna hold up. He's gonna hold you like it's the end of his life and try to take you down and hold you there, and it's gonna be like a boring fight. So don't be surprised if Conor McGregor ducks GSP, not ducks, but like avoids GSP, kind of forcing GSP to just fight Darren Till, Tyrone Woodley, or Robert Whittaker. Everybody wants to see Conor McGregor versus GSP, but in my opinion, I don't think Conor wants to fight GSP. Just like GSP doesn't want to fight Robert Whittaker. But if Conor McGregor fights GSP and beats him, Conor McGregor has to be one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, beating a guy that everybody that was in the talks of being. GSP was in the talks of. He still is in the talks of being one of the best mixed martial artists of all time. I'm not impressed with his fights against Nate Diaz. It's because Nate Diaz, he's not a true mixed martial artist in my opinion. He's a boxer wrestler. I mean, jiu-jitsu guy. He doesn't know how to throw a leg kick. He doesn't know how to do a takedown. He's overrated in my opinion. He's like a top 10 lightweight at best. There's a lot of guys that could beat him, like Tony Ferguson, Khabib, RDA. He already did. Edson Barbosa. Beneil Barouche. I have so many guys beating him, but I mean, Eddie Alvarez. So I'm not saying that just because I think Nate Diaz is overrated, that makes Conor McGregor overrated. No, because everybody that took Nate Diaz down because of his stand up, and Conor McGregor, he's way better at Nate Diaz in the stand up, and look what Conor McGregor did to Eddie Alvarez. I think that Conor has poor ground game, but great stand up. And I feel like him fighting guys that just do stand up, he's always gonna beat those guys. But when he fights a guy that he has a masterful ground game like GSP, and like a Tyrone Woodley, he's gonna lose to those guys. And in my opinion, Nate Diaz is gonna fight Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz, Paulie Malignaggi, Dana White. Dana White is in the boxing game now. Oh, that's where he's going towards, and and he retires. And that's it. He retires. Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, Paulie Malignaggi, retirement after that. There's no point in fighting GSP and losing to GSP or getting punched by GSP, Tyrone Woodley. Those guys are just too big. They hit too hard. Yes, you have a good chin, but why take that damage when you have millions upon millions of dollars in your bank account? There's no point. At that point, you're just going off of ego. It's too ridiculous. If you retire today, you have a great legacy. You were able to hold 2 champions at the same time. One of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. Why take a risk and have an extra L? More L's, Because if you fight GSP, I have GSP winning. If you have Tyrone Woodley, I have Tyrone Woodley winning. You don't want you really lost to Floyd Mayweather. That's boxing, but that's still an L. You really lost to Nate Diaz. You even lost to Joe Duffy. Look at Joe Duffy in lightweight. He got knocked out by James Vick. Those are my quick thoughts on this. GSP next opponent. GSP, one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. Great fighter. He's not going to fight Anderson Silva next. Anderson Silva's getting knocked out by Kelvin Gastelum. GSP is going to fight Robert Whittaker or Tyrone Woodley, maybe Darren Till. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace.